What's going on, money lovers? Welcome back. This is Vinny from the Investment Club. With 2020 winding down, I want to start looking at the year in review. I'm going to be doing a couple videos talking about some of my best performers of 2020, but I was reading an article today and there's my mistake right there. Pretty interesting about Bank of America's top 11 stock picks for 2021, and I wanted to run through some of them and let you know what I think, just kind of walk through my thought process on whether I agree with them that these are great companies that you want to own. So without further ado, let's jump right into this. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Always coming out with new videos. I read all the comments. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see more videos on in the future. Bank of America names top 11 stock picks for 2021. So they unveiled their top stocks for the next year among the 11 S&P 500 sectors. But the bank might hope its picks do better than they did in 2020. So when IBD is already roasting them, that's when you know this is going to be a fun ride. All right, so if we scroll down here, so they picked one company from each of the 11 sectors that comprise the S&P 500. Now, before I jump into their 2021 picks, I feel it's only right to talk about their 2020 picks. So if we look here, you see most Bank of America's top stock picks for 2020 whiffed. They sure did. Now, 2020 obviously has been a crazy year with a lot of things going on that no one could have foreseen. With that being said, I think that you don't have to be a total genius to have come up with some better performing companies this year. There are just so many to choose from, but let's see what Bank of America picked. So number one here, we have Walt Disney, which year to date has gained 20%. So this is a pretty solid pick, and that's about where the solid picks for Bank of America's 2020 stocks ends. Now, as you can see here, year to date, Disney is up roughly 20%. Now, a lot of that gain has been as of late because it's obviously spent the majority of this pandemic tanking and trying to recover, which is hard to do when your main revenue stream is forcibly closed. But Disney Plus has been a life raft for this company, and I am a big fan of Disney. I own it. I think there's a fantastic company that every decade it can only go up. I mean, they own so much. They own the Star Wars franchise, they own Marvel, and so many other things. They have the licensing too. They can just keep making remakes of these movies and selling toys until the end of time, and you're gonna make a lot of money. So with that being said, Disney's a great long-term pick, but it wasn't a great performer in 2020. As most of this gain has come as of late. Now, CarMax, I'm not going to get too much into, but when you're looking at companies like Amazon, what do you want to own, CarMax or Amazon? Now, Tyson Foods, this is an interesting one. You know, this is a name brand. They kind of have a monopoly. They pay a nice dividend yield. You know, they're consistent. But when we look at Tyson Food over the last 5 years, I mean, you bought this stock 5 years ago and you're up 24%. While the broad market, you would just owning an index fund, you would have made probably 150%. So why would you own Tyson Foods? And I'm all for dividend plays, believe me. I love my dividends, but I just cannot justify owning a company like Tyson Foods, especially if you're just beginning out. You know, it's one thing if you're maybe older and you're deeper into the game and you want some consistently reliable dividends, you're not chasing growth. But if you're brand new to investing, you don't want to own Tyson Foods. Next up, we've got ExxonMobil. Oh, geez. Oh boy. Banks and oil, a love story. Well, this one's clearly just not working out. Even worse than Tyson's negative almost 30%. This one tops it off at almost negative 40% it's gone thus far. Oil, folks, it's on its way out. That being said, there is one oil company that I am interested in possibly starting a position in. Still doing my due diligence, and I plan to get that video out hopefully next week sometime. So stay tuned for that. It's not Exxon, but we'll see. Next up, we've got Citigroup here. Another doozy, down 25% on the year. Now, I owned Citigroup for a while, and I decided to sell it. You know, I'd rather own banks than some of these other companies you got here. But still, they just don't really do it. I mean, they're great for dividend yield. Citi's got about 3.5% dividend yield. When you look at the 5-year chart, again, I mean, it's just not going anywhere. And, you know, Citi, so at the high here, maybe it was up to $80. I just don't see enough gain to justify buying it at these levels compared to the other opportunities I see in the market right now. Now, I'm not familiar with this company. It is in the healthcare sector. As I mentioned in my last video, I'm lacking healthcare exposure, and I'm trying to make up for that I bought ARCG, I own Johnson & Johnson, definitely looking to expand those positions. But even still, I own S&P 500 index fund, And through that, I get, 14% of that index fund is comprised of healthcare stocks. And if we look at the performance of this index fund, 2019, 30%, it's going to, on average, probably get me about 10% returns. So why would I invest in this Dentsply Sirona company? I mean, I've never even heard of this company. There's probably a reason for that. Now, again, I just want to be clear, this isn't investment advice. Obviously, everyone's style of investment is different. There's no one right way to go about this. I'm just walking you through my thought process and my investing style, which I use to meet my investing goals. Your goals are different, and some of these companies might be perfect for you if underperforming the market is your thing. Now, Raytheon, if you're into defense company, Raytheon could be for you. I hear the government loves their missiles, but again, down quite a bit here. Now, I'm sure if there's conflict in the world and we have wars, Raytheon is going to skyrocket. But for 2020, it was down almost 60%. Woo-wee, I sure hope we're not following Bank of America's advice, folks. Moving on, Intel, another doozy, losing more market share by the minute. Why own Intel when you could own a fantastic company like NVIDIA or one of my favorites, AMD, which I made a video about a while back, and I'll link in the description below. AMD's performance has been fantastic. If you bought in a year ago, you're up 100% right now. If you bought in a few years ago, you do the math on this one. It's about a 20 bagger compared to Intel stock, which as of late has been quite a doozy. Now, with that being said, it's a staple. I'm sure they'll recover eventually and they could start, getting market share back. And again, if dividends are your thing, this is a good company to own. But I prefer AMD as things stand right now. Now on to Kimco Realty. Oh man, this is a real estate stock that invests mainly in shopping centers. Couldn't have seen the pandemic coming, but I think you could see the transition to e-commerce growing, and shopping centers is probably not the best thing to have your money in right now. That being said, I do own Realty Income and RioCan, two other REITs that I think are fantastic, but even they are in danger. But what I like about them is they're much more diversified into staple stores. For example, Realty Income has been a consistent dividend payer, and they pay their dividend monthly. So you divide this number out by 12 months, comes out to something like 23 cents a share per month. But this is a company that I think is much more well diversified. That being said, it still has about 84% of its total portfolio in retail. But they rent to things like Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, gyms, movie theaters, which, while these are not all perfect industries, I'm much more comfortable having that diversity than investing in shopping centers. So for that reason, on Kimco Realty, I'm out. American Electric Power, utilities have just not been doing great, and my energy investment is in Tesla and possibly another one coming next week, which stay tuned, we'll talk about. So now that we got through the 2020 doozy picks of Bank of America, let's move on to what they got in store for us for 2021. Oh my God. So we got Walt Disney again. Again, I think of all the companies, we went through so far, that's one of my favorite companies. I feel comfortable owning that company until the end of time. It's just going to keep making more money. There's just no doubt about that. Hilton Worldwide, no way am I jumping at this. I think the hotels are in a world of pain right now, and I don't see it improving anytime soon because what's happening, Airbnb just IPO'd. People, if anything, are getting much more comfortable with these staycations or going through Airbnb where it's cheaper, you get a whole house to yourself. It just makes a lot more sense. I mean, it obviously is a lot of personal preference, but I think with younger people in general, they much prefer Airbnb over hotels. So why would I want to own this company moving forward? Plus, the travel industry, I don't see it recovering for quite some time. It's got at least another year of dismal performance. If you wanted to try and hop in as a turnaround play, you could do that. But if I'm going to go for travel, I would be buying things like cruise ships and airlines over a hotel chain. Just not my style. I don't see a bright future in the next couple of years. But I'm not buying those either. I own no cruise ship companies. I own no airlines. Just not doing so hot right now. But you could also make the argument it's value right now. It'll come back eventually. Perhaps. Now, Walmart, I think this is a great pick. I'm glad Bank of America waited until it was at an all-time high to recommend it. I think Walmart's a fantastic company to own. They're right up there with Amazon, and they're moving more into the e-commerce and with the Walmart Plus, if you're not familiar with. They're trying to compete with Amazon. They're offering the same kind of same-day shipping and other perks, and as you can see, the stock has done very well over the last few years. So Walmart gets the okay from me. Chevron, now Allstate insurance, also not my thing. Could be good, but what would you rather own, Allstate or Amazon? And again, I'm young. I have a long-term time horizon, so I'm more focused on growth. depending on your goals, Allstate could fit for you. I'm skipping around a little bit. So here they actually do have Realty Income, which I talked about before. I like Realty Income. So this is another good pick I like here. It's down a lot on the year. Obviously, they've been tremendously impacted negatively by the pandemic. They've really struggled to collect rent from their movie theaters, their gyms, which can't seem to stay open every day. They're ordered to, it seems like every other week they're ordered to shut down again. It's a disaster, but at least Realty Income has the diversity. They have all these other tenants, high quality tenants that they screen and they can rely on. So I'm much more comfortable owning something like a Realty Income over the Kimco Realty, which is primarily shopping centers that we mentioned earlier. So all in all, what's that? For 2021, there's let's say Disney, Realty Income, and Walmart would be the only 3 companies here that I would even be interested in buying. I don't own any Walmart. I don't plan to buy it. I can do an analysis on that one if you guys would like to learn more, but I like Walt Disney and I like Realty Income here. And Realty Income, I'm really just in it for the dividends. I'm trying to build up my dividend income, start paying bills. With that, you know, if I could get to the point where with Realty Income, I'm getting $100 in dividend a month, that'd be fantastic. I could pay for my cell phone bill, my internet, one less bill, and then I have more money to do what I want to do with on my journey to financial freedom. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If I'm totally wrong, let me know. If you agree, let me know what you want to see more of in the future. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Vinny from the Investment Club, and I'll see you next time.